walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I do have some exciting news. I did put it on my community post. Now, here's the thing. I actually I have a special guest with us. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to talk here for about an hour about the Unbreakable Argonauts. Then I'm going to switch over to The Last of Us. We'll play some games, and I'm going to go over everything, because I see Albus is already gifting memberships. I see all this fun stuff. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. I just want to be super respectful to my guests and to Bianca's time. And I really care less about Bianca's time, but I'm just saying to my guest. But please don't think I'm being like that anyway. So, yes, look at that. That's amazing. Okay. But we will go over all of that, when we play some Last of Us here in a little bit. So Ashley, this is Ashley Land. Now we're going to go over Ashley's Indiegogo project, and I'm super excited because it looks so good. Ashley, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
No problem whatsoever. Now, I want to talk to you about this because I was trying to figure this out for days. I've seen this project somewhere, and I was already looking into it when you reached out to me about it. And tell us a little bit about the Unbreakable Argonauts. Is this your first project? Because I couldn't find... I've just seen the one campaign.
This is my first comic book project, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Golden Age comics, especially, newer comics, the kind of throwbacks to the Golden Age. So, Jeff Johns on JSA, Darwin Cook's New Frontier, and that sort of thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but it's not the biggest, doesn't have the biggest following in comics. And my thought was, why don't I just make my own then?
I mean, that's kind of a great idea. That's kind of a wonderful idea. I see. Now I got to ask right off the gate. You have a variant by Yannick Paquette?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's the main cover, but it's really up to you which the main cover is. I only did that because it's the featured one.
I love it. That's a big name for a first project. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I was thrilled to have him agree to it.
That is so cool. So tell us about your characters a little bit.
So the thinking behind it is I want each character to sort of represent a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got the traditional sort of superhero in the back.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got this Rocketeer sort of style hero. You've got the ghostly sort of hero, which is going to be kind of like a spectre-ish character. And then Mandrake, which is the black guy at the front, is more sort of war, like Sergeant Rock, maybe a little bit of Punisher in there as well. The gorilla's named Aurelius. He's a hyper-intelligent gorilla, and he's sort of the science fiction character. And then you've got the Raven, who's more of a classic kind of pulp, adventure character. And his wife, which is the woman, she's a speedster, and her name's Dynamo.
Actually, do you mind if I show the trailer off?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. It's really cool. Did you make the trailer yourself?
I did, yeah, on iMovie.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think I spent a bit too long on the train sequence at the beginning.
This is gonna show. I just wanted to stop this. Is this a Spectre character?
Yep.
I love it. What's his name again?
His name is Phantasmo.
I love the design. Bianca, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
I heard your voice for a second, so I was just making sure.
Yeah. I'm here.
Why does it keep coming up with my recommendations? There we go.
Because it's on your tab.
Yeah. Can I ask if the for this character, was this inspired by either like the Brain or Gorilla Grodd, something along those lines?
Actually, this whole I don't know. I mean, I assume you're a fan of the Justice League cartoon, and the sort of dynamic between these two is sort of a Gorilla Grodd versus Solivar, that sort of thing.
Ooh.
But it's sort of the same kind of balance between like Magneto and Professor X as well.
Ooh, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's super exciting.
I love it. No, she's falling. Do we have a like Our Man look here? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just noticing parallels, so I'm pointing them out. I'm probably looking like a jackass. I apologize.
Yeah, there's definitely the Justice Society was a really big inspiration for the whole thing.
I love it. JSA doesn't get enough love anymore. Let's be real
then.
here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, I love. What is this character?
His name's Crimson Eagle. He's a kind of Rocketeer inspired. The background of the character is he's Navy test pilot and was testing out this jetpack system, but the Navy went in the direction of jet planes, so he kind of got retired, and on his last day he stole this jetpack and became a hero of the skies.
Oh my gosh, I love the design. I used to really enjoy the Rocketeer. I picked up some of the newer comics and I haven't been as impressed, I'm not gonna lie, but like I used to really enjoy it. I love the idea of bringing back the Rocketeer. That's awesome.
Well, a lot of the newer comics, the kind of throwbacks, they've leaned more into anthologies, and it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, it really, really doesn't. It's sad. All right, we got the basic wrap up here. Claim your copy now. Thanks for watching. Okay, yes. I wanted to show it. I love the music you had in it. It was really good. So we've got a team dynamic. We've got a lot of fun sort of not old tropes. I don't want to say that, but like classic tropes, right? Like universal things that work really well in comic books. What inspired you to actually write a book? What made you go, you know what? That's it. I'm doing it.
Well, I probably would have done it sooner, except, I had this, I had it built up in my mind as being so much more difficult than it actually is. And, I saved up a little bit of money and thought, I want to at least try this, get some concept art, get a few pages done. And, just along the way, realized this is a lot easier than I thought and just went for it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see a lot of parallels to stuff that I would enjoy on a normal basis.
Yeah.
Like that I looked forward to in comics. So I can see why this is something that you'd be interested in writing. You said it was a lot easier than what you thought?
Putting the comic book together, definitely, yeah. It's there's a lot of artists looking for work, and it's not as once you get started, it's not as daunting as you think.
I mean, I've always wanted to write a comic. I don't think I could do it, so I'll give you props there. So, tell us about the book. It's 64 pages, right? We've got a graphic novel here.
Yeah. And might be able to extend it up with I'm still on the fence about extending it with backup or just more story. So I'll have to see how that goes. It's kind of the I know this isn't the most popular thing, but I'm not the biggest fan of deconstruction. And so this is kind of like an not anti-deconstruction, but it's more of an optimistic story.
Reconstruction.
I am okay. I'm on the fence with, like, I don't mind a good, well executed deconstruction, but you can only deconstruct so much. Sometimes we just need a good freaking story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes you reach a point where it's just you kind of know where everything's going from the beginning. If it's a dark story, like, okay, that guy's going to turn out to be the villain, that guy's probably going to die, all that sort of thing, and it just gets a little bit predictable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I've dropped so many titles just for that simple fact alone, like predictability. Okay, I can see through it right away, and I'm gonna guess, and I was right. 14 times out of 15, I'm done.
Yeah.
So you're the writer, and you have a separate artist?
Yeah.
Tell us about your team.
So I'm working with an artist named Daniel Max. He's the main interior artist. And he's a Brazilian guy. He's got a few comics published under his belt. And I'm also working with colorist Russell Vincent Yu. And met both of them on the Comic Book Collabs subreddit. And yeah, I mean, everyone's been really professional and absolutely great at their job.
That is awesome. So you were just one of those people that were like, you know what? I want to write a comic book, and you went out and just did it?
Pretty much, yeah.
That is awesome. Albus, yeah. I want you to know that I'm not ignoring you guys. I wanna make sure that I give Ashley his due, and then we're gonna go over everything. I promise we are gonna go over everything. I'm screenshotting everything. So I just wanted to remind you guys. I feel like a bad host if I say stuff, and then I feel like a bad YouTuber if I don't say stuff. So I want to make sure you guys know. But so tell us, you are doing a digital version, which I love. Tell us about your tiers here. So
there's actually 2 digital options. One just gets you, because the comic book is broken down into 2 chapters.
Oh, so that's what the difference is. Okay.
Yeah. So the cheaper PDF only gets you the first chapter, and then there's the full PDF, which will get you the whole story.
That is actually a really cool idea. I've never seen that done.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who won't necessarily want to go all in on the campaign, and what we'll probably do is, if we manage to meet our goal, we'll come back with an in-demand store, and then I'll put up chapter 2 on a PDF, so people can, so they don't have to buy something twice. They can just chapter 1, chapter 2.
This character design, I like. It's gonna be my favorite character. I'm calling it right now. I love it. So you have
a tier for international backers as well, or is it just for the US?
Yeah, you can back wherever you are. It's probably going to fulfill from an American fulfillment center, but yeah, anyway, there's shipping available wherever you are.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
These are beautiful. Does your artist also do the coloring, you said? I don't know if I asked.
I have a separate colorist.
You have a separate colorist. Okay.
Yeah. I think that projects go best when everyone's a professional at the specific thing that they're doing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? For sure. Oh, yeah. For sure. Now I see the different image for the second cover here. You can kind of see it if you look here, guys. You can get both covers, right? You've got the double cover pack here. You can pick one or the other, right?
You can buy them. Yeah, you can, but there's 2 covers. One's by Daniel Max, the other one's by Yannick Paquette. And you can get either of them by themselves. You can get a double pack. You can get there's another option, which is putting out just the black and white interiors, and that's going to be its own book if you want to pick that up. And that's available
cool.
that's available on a multi-pack as well. If you scroll down a little bit, I think that's the second to last. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
That's very surprising. Not a lot of people will offer black and white interiors, or just inks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I like that though. I never was a big like black and white fan until The Walking Dead. And then I grew to love it. So I love seeing that. And then you can see kind of the original idea of it also. You've got to get drawn into the comic. I love those. Those are so neat.
Yeah, there's only one spot available for that, or one spot left for that, I should say.
You've already got 2 claimed. That's actually really cheap compared to most of the get drawn into them. I've seen some of them be like $5,000. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, how much was the price for that one? I missed it.
It was only $109.
That's it?
Yes, that's why I said it was freaking cheap.
That's the cheapest now that I've seen. The other cheapest one was $300, and I'm like, nobody can beat that. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it too. I didn't want to make any perk too inaccessible for anyone.
I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looks amazing. It really, really does. I want to know though. So there's one big issue I have with crowdfunding is the ability to move forward. What is your plan when it comes to furthering these characters down the road?
Well, I'm actually currently writing out sequels, and the this book, there's a full story, but then there's a short epilogue at the end, and that's going to tee up issue 2 immediately.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's going to introduce a character who hopefully they'll see her come on the screen, they'll say, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I want to see what happens with this guy now," and he's going to join the team for a little bit, and thinking about how to move forward with new stories afterwards.
That is wonderful, because I'm always a very much so like I love my monthlies because I love a continuing story. So when it comes to some projects like this, I'm like, not that I'm apprehensive, but I'm like, a lot of times my biggest complaint is I want more. So I always want to know if there's the ability to move forward in these stories.
Yeah, it was really important to me to make sure that everyone knows this isn't a one shot. This is an issue number 1. So hopefully it's going to be a nice ongoing, depending on how successful we are.
Nice. So compared to all of the other crowdfunding platforms like Crowder, Kickstarter, etc., what made you want to do Indiegogo? Was it the most recommended?
It was the most recommended by people I'd talked to, as well as the Daniel Max. I asked him because he's got, he's had a few things published, and he said he's had the best success on Indiegogo. So, trusted him and just went for Indiegogo. And it has the 60 days, which is a big help.
60 days is a great one for especially a first campaign. I have to agree with that. Your goal is also really good, not going to lie. Usually some people want to go maybe like at 10,000 or more for something around this big. But you hit on the mark that you got a really good goal.
Yeah, that's basic. The goal up there is basically the remaining costs for the interiors and the lettering, and then some extra for fulfillment and printing, and then I'll put a bit of my money into fulfillment and printing as well. So should even out.
So it's just like you're doing this as a cost coverage thing. That's how you set your goal, and that kind of works out to maybe help with the next one. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to your goal, you should I want to see about. I want to back it real quick, but I'll do it after stream. I want to back it, but I also don't want all my credentials up on screen.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I'll do it after screen. I was gonna undo it real quick, but that would be too hard talking and everything else. But if as long as you get this funded, we can expect some in the future. It seems like You're invested in these characters. Can you tell us about them individually a little bit?
I can, yeah. So they've all got their own backstories, because the hope is that not necessarily, I want moving forward, I do want to keep the team together, but I also want to do Brave and the Bold type stories where it's two of them go off on their own adventure, and you break them up like that. And so I can walk you through kind of the backstory of each character.
I would love that.
So I'll start at the front. That's Mandrake. He's a
Right here?
He's
okay.
Sorry?
No. I was just making sure I had the characters to their faces.
Yeah. He's a former army sergeant, and he led this special task force called Task Force Monster in World War II, which was the U.S. Army put together all these cryptids from North America, and he led them into battle as kind of their own WMD. And came out of the army and wanted to keep helping people, so he kept his army uniform on. Now he's this kind of Sergeant Rock, but if he was active in America, that kind of thing.
I love it. He gave me very much so like Jon Stewart vibes in the beginning, but now I can I can see the Sergeant Rock too. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. And then you've got Dynamo, which is the female hero, and the Raven, which is this kind of pulpy Batman Midnighter looking hero.
Right here, these two?
Yeah, those two are married. Dynamo is a speedster, and Raven is kind of a what would you call it? Like an industrialist, an inventor, and that sort of thing. He's kind of the he's kind of the funding behind the team.
Oh, awesome.
And then you've got Aurelius, which is the intelligent gorilla. He and the other gorilla's name is Gigantora. So these two were being transported to, they've been smuggled into America. They fell off the back of a truck, and then they drank from a swamp that had an army plane crashed into it, and there was all this kind of goo coming out. So they drink from the swamp, and they become hyper intelligent. And then their different experiences after that kind of shape who they are. So you've got Aurelius, who's definitely a more nurtured character and came out very optimistic and, a good person. Then you've got Gigantor, who had a much harder experience, came out as a villain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Phantasma, which is the ghostly sort of character. He was actually an older hero, and he was a sort of Victorian age hero and got murdered, and he's been stuck in this spectral form for decades, and finally found a home in the team. And he can take over people's bodies and sort of influence their minds, and he can also manipulate machinery.
Oh, that's cool. So he's like Spectre meets Dr. Fate meets Deadman, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Thank you. I would have never gotten those characters.
And then you've got Crimson Eagle, which is the more sort of rocketeering hero. And so he's kind of the kind of like a Maverick, Hal Jordan type character. He was a Navy pilot. And towards the end of his career, he was asked to test out this jetpack. And the Navy decided that they didn't want to go with it. So they went with jet planes instead. And on his way out, he kind of sees this jetpack just laying around. He's like, well, no one's going to do anything with this. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it to good use. I'm going to be a hero with it.
That is awesome.
And then the final character is this kind of Superman type hero. He's a kind of an adventurer hero, and he found an amulet in ancient Egypt, and he put the amulet on. And he had this super strength, kind of like Owlman, and took it back to America with him. And yeah, he's the kind of the most powerful superhero of the bunch.
That is okay. So he's going to be your most powerful character here.
Yeah, but kind of more of a golden age power set. So, like as you mentioned, more kind of like Owlman levels of strength.
That is awesome. I love it. It's there's a balance of all different type of powers here, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, the goal was for everyone to kind of be complementary, bring their own thing to the team.
What about the villain?
Ooh.
I think is there I think if you scroll down there might be villain concept art there.
Oh wait, I did see it in the trailer. It was very Dr. Phosphorus-esque.
Kind of, yeah.
Let me bring it up here. I know I saw it in the trailer because I thought it was really neat looking.
I think it's just after the team picture. There it is.
There we go. We've got some freaking
Skeletor.
Awesome looking. I love it though.
Yeah.
It is good. I love the purple and the green.
I do too. It's a really nice color match.
Are these all the villains, or is it just the one on the left?
These three are all the villains. There's another villain that hasn't. I didn't add him in yet, but he's going to be. So there's these three villains, which is you got Green Ghost on the left. He's this very old villain who's kind of stuck in this form. And then you've got Gigantor, who I've already talked about. He's another, super genius gorilla. And then you've got Dr. Venus on the right. And Dr. Venus and Green Ghost are kind of partners. So they work together. And then you've got the final villain who isn't on here, but his name's Blood Moon. And he's kind of this, kind of like a Doctor Doom type character, who just really wants to take over the world. Classic villain motivation,
I love the classic aesthetic to all of this. Dr. Venus is a fucking awesome name, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I love these concepts. They look so good. So what is their motivation? You said Blood Moon. His was just classic motivation. What about when it comes to these three?
So Blood Moon is the, he's kind of the, what do you call it? Like the puppeteer. He brings these three together and, kind of plays on their own motivations. So Gigantor wants to defeat Aurelius, so he plays on that. Green Ghost wants to get revenge on Phantasmo, so he plays on that. And Dr. Venus is mostly in it for the money. And so Blood Moon is just manipulating them for his own goals.
Aha. Just in it for the money. I mean, you can't really blame him, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like it. Was it hard to interweave as somebody that's brand new, right? Brand new to writing comics. Was it hard to? This is a huge cast of characters. This is a lot. Was it hard to interweave motivations and character development and all of that fun stuff?
Yeah, I think I've been through 5 or 6 drafts for the script. I come up with something and then give it another look a few days later and just didn't like how it came across, didn't like the motivations, didn't think it made sense, and I, keep working on it until I had something that, was something that I'd like to read and that I think other people would like to read and that made sense.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Did you have to have like an editor or anything, or is this just all you?
From the writing perspective, it's all me.
It's a lot of work. That's awesome, though.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you your own editor as well?
Yeah, I'll probably hand it off to someone sort of at the last minute for the dialogue anyway. Just to make sure they're not too repetitive, because sometimes if you've written it, there's things that you can miss, and definitely want a fresh pair of eyes to look over it before I send off the letter.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely think this has a lot of draw to it, especially as like a classic comic book fan. I feel really bad. I keep comparing them to other characters, but I'm just comparing to what I know, right? I see things and I recognize it, and it's something that I love and that I'm interested in, which only makes me more excited for something like this. You get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard not to be influenced by other stuff. So a lot of those Golden Age comics definitely had an influence on me, and I think it's hard to, it's hard to move forward. I think it would be dishonest to say nothing else influenced me, Obviously, a lot of things definitely came into it, and there's a lot of things that I kind of miss from comics that I don't get to see anymore, and wanted to put my own versions of that into this.
As a comic book fan, what got you into comics personally?
Well, I mean, probably the TV shows. When I was a kid, I had this VHS set of the 1966 Superman Adventures cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That was my entry into superheroes. And then growing up, things like Spider-Man, X-Men the animated series, Batman the animated series, and then finally moved into comics when I was a teenager. And first comic was Detective Comics 596 by Grant Breyfogle, and just been in love with comics ever since.
Sorry, I think my mic was messing up for a minute, and I don't know if it was picking up the wrong mic or what, but I think I got it square while you were talking.
Did you hear me okay?
Yeah, does it sound okay?
Yeah,
Yep.
It sounds okay.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure.
More than one mic.
No, I have my headset has a mic on it, and every once in a while it'll like switch over to the other one, and I'm like, I don't know why is this sounding weird, but no, I got it. Okay. So yeah, I really like the way this looks. I really like what you've done here. Also, if anybody has any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask. But as far as what I see here, I mean, I'm interested. I would have already backed it, but I don't want to show my credentials, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, it's good to it's good that people are enthusiastic about it.
What's that, Bianca? Bianca?
You can press the follow button.
I'm not logged in even.
Oh, well, that's...
I rarely use Indiegogo, so this is gonna be. I think I've only ever backed a few things on Indiegogo. I generally use Kickstarter, so I'm curious what the differences are there. I'm not really sure. I'm too aware of it.
Really? So for obviously the most simple part of Indiegogo is you get to pay on the spot. So there's no waiting like Kickstarter until it ends, at least.
Oh, that's nice. Because then I always forget about it. And then it'll come through like a month later and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
For the notifications, they'll usually go to your email. For the Kickstarter notifications, they're just like on Kickstarter and on email.
I get Kickstarter updates all the time.
Yes. They both do the updates a little similarly, but I think Kickstarter does the extra mile because they have the actual app, while for Indiegogo, it's just a website.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against Indiegogo. I'm just not as familiar with it. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's. See, I didn't even know Kickstarter had an app. Now I gotta download that shit on my phone. Thanks, Bianca.
You're welcome.
Making me spend more money. No, I'm just kidding. There was something I was gonna ask and I don't remember. I don't know. I like it. I'm very, very interested in what this has to say. What was the hardest thing for you when it came to, like, was it names? Was it motivations? Was there anything particularly difficult when it came to writing your book?
I'd say, motivations was definitely part of it, and trying to, kind of balance out what I want to do with what's reasonable to ask the artist to do. You know what I mean? So, don't want to go too much at once on one page.
What was the most what was the best part for you? What was the most fun thing? Like, because I think I would love the names, but what for you was your favorite part of doing this project?
Well, the names was good, but it was frustrating as well, because I'd have all these names and then I Google them to make sure
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Google them to make sure I wasn't infringing on any trademark or some DC hero from the Silver Age or something like that. And I must have gone through about 20 names, because I just type in the most superhero sounding name and Google it, and there was like a DC miniseries to the hero, and I'd be like, oh,
No.
I don't want to get sued. And I'm pretty sure that they're all, but yeah, the coming up with the names was fun. Coming up with the seeing the designs come together, I think was probably the best bit for me. It was the most, satisfying bit for me.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Getting to see your actual character come to life, what you pictured in your head for so long, that had to be really neat.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was because the way that I usually design a character is I'll get like I'll go on the internet and find a PNG file of like a superhero silhouette, and then I'll put it in. I'll kind of do the colors and come up with these little symbols on it, and that kind of thing. But seeing it go from that to an actual hero is so much better.
Did you have a hard time getting an artist? Was there like, I know you said, I think you said you used Reddit. Is that what you said?
Yeah. And no, I didn't have a hard time. There's a lot of artists looking for work on comics.
I didn't know if it was like, did you pick your artist specifically for the style? Was it anything like, that drew you to your artist?
It was definitely the style, yeah. And I'd actually seen Daniel's portfolio, and I looked at it and I thought there's no way I could afford to hire this guy. And then put out the listing that I was looking for an artist. Daniel reached out, and I was like, I was just really happy that, the guy I wanted to work with was actually available and had reasonable rates so I could work with him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's when it's meant to be.
Definitely. And we actually had a good conversation at the beginning, figured out that we like a lot of the same comics and the same styles. And one of the things was when you put out that you're looking for artists, you get all sorts of styles. So a lot of people are pretty insistent on doing manga art.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's funny. The kind of what I found is that non-American artists are the most enjoyable for American art, and American artists really like Japanese art.
True.
That is so funny. Yes, I got monetized just this morning, and that's why I'll say this again just to be safe. Thank you so much, Zeno, by the way. But I'm not ignoring anybody. I promise. What we're going to do here in just a little bit is play some Last of Us, and I'm going to go over everything, go over all the super chats, go over all the memberships, everything. So I apologize. I promise I'm not ignoring you guys. I promise. But I had the interview scheduled, and I want to make sure to give Ashley my undivided attention when it comes to this book, because it looks really good and he deserves it. So I promise you guys, I'm not ignoring you. I promise.
I really appreciate it, by the way.
No, I see, and this is weird because I told you this through email, but when you emailed me, I looked up you sent the link of the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo, and I was like, I know this project. Why do I know this project? Somebody just talked about this project. So I'm going through my head, and like, I don't know how I knew about this, but I had already been looking into it. So I'm like, yep. You're coming on the channel and you're coming on stats. Let's figure this out. Like, because I had already knew, and I'm not an Indiegogo person, but I had already knew I wanted to back this, which is so weird to me because I don't look out of my way to go on Indiegogo, but I was interested. And did you do interviews with anyone else? I thought you said you did.
I've done one with Perch, and that's going up today, I think.
So it wasn't that, and Perch is awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I made I went on with Perch, and I put on this really bad headset, and I didn't hear until after the interview how bad the audio was from the headset.
Oh no!
So
you sound perfect now.
Yeah, if you listen to that over on Perch, it sounds a bit like I'm wearing like a scuba suit.
That's happened to us more than one time, so we understand.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I'm constantly like, is my audio okay? Is my audio okay? Like, I've had it happen to guests, to myself, to Bianca. Like, it's unfortunate, but still, you're gonna. I'm sure Perch has worked out a way to make it sound okay.
Yeah, I've been looking into buying like a professional mic so I don't sound, terrible on my end.
And the thing that is kind of almost at your responsibility right now is you've got to get this name out there, right? You've got to try to reach out to people and get your book's name out there. So anybody listening who has a channel, get them on.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I definitely appreciate that.
I think this project looks right up my alley, but it also looks like something I would have read when I was a kid. And I think maybe that's why I, even before you emailed me, was interested in it, because it is classic superheroes and there is a need for classic superheroing. Is that a word? Superheroing? Because
just back to basics sort of thing.
And I love DC Comics. I love indie comics. I love, Boom and Image and Dynamite and AWA. I enjoy them. But a lot of times we are missing that classic universal truths of superheroing. And
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying. And I think that's what had drawn, like, even going back, to the aftermath of World War II, going back to the, time of more, how do I say this nicely? Differently principled people, even.
Yeah.
Brings a bit of excitement to the story.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, and I think the 50s, like putting aside social issues, I think the 50s is a really stylish era. It just has a nice look to it when you look back at the architecture and the technology and all that sort of thing.
Is there going to be like little to less kind of politics due to the social issues there were in the 50s, or were you thinking about actually adding some or a little bit more?
If I do, it'd probably be a bit down the road and not in your face politics, but more kind of philosophical things and, kind of like, what would you say, like X-Men, maybe not as much as that. I'm more of kind of adventure action sort of writer.
I like it. So we're not going to have to hear about the woman, the woman on the team going, I'm not allowed to own a credit card.
No, and Mandrake's not going to get refused service or anything like that. It's just going to be fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just going to be the team hanging out and being heroes, and people love them for it, and that kind of thing.
I like it. And even when going back to the old JSA stuff, like there that wasn't there. Like there was social commentary, but that wasn't there. Like we knew at that time period it was different, but it wasn't heavy-handed. It wasn't anything like that. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story back then was just be a good person. It wasn't you have to be this, you have to be that. It's just treat everyone right, be a good person.
Individuality, be your own self, but work towards the, I don't know, collective good in a way.
Yeah. Just I think just being a good just being a good person, really.
I love it. That's too funny. Oh goodness. So if you guys, anyone have any you'll see when Tris gets to the super chats. I will. I am going to let Ashley give you one last push on why you should back this. Let me put it again. I do have it pinned, you guys. And then I promise we will get to that stuff once we switch over to the gaming. I'll end up closing this one out and starting a new stream. But here is the link. And if you're not convinced, you can always just follow it, like Bianca said. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of, you said you've got 30 days left. Now, wait, hold on. I thought Bianca said earlier they had 60-day campaigns.
Yeah,
yes, you can make it as long as you want.
So we've already had 30 days down.
Oh, so this has already been out for 30 days.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So 30 days left.
Okay. See, I don't know the differences. I don't know the difference. I'm learning.
Marketing the book has been uphill battle for me, and hard getting eyeballs on it, especially for a first-time campaign.
Yeah, and that's really hard. First time ever writing a comic book right out the gate. That's what I'm saying. I know some of you guys have YouTube channels. I'm looking at you, dead guy Elon. Just saying.
Dead guy's not doing them anymore.
Oh shit! Sorry, dead guy. I apologize, Elon. Just saying. Get him on your channel. Get the name out there. It's hard work. But tell everyone one last time why they should be interested in this book. Do a final push. You know what I mean?
So I'd say if you miss classic superhero adventures, if you want a little bit of dynamic range to the superhero books, something that really feels timeless, action, adventure, science fiction, all of that's in this book. It's just really classic. A lot of homages to classic stories and old culture, and a little throwback to a time that was simpler comics, more action, more adventure, and really rich stories and really rich characters who I think you're going to really get invested in and you're going to want to see more of.
I love it. I think it sounds wonderful. And not only this, but I'll put it on my community posts. Sometimes if people don't have the chance to see the stream, they can at least check it out afterwards. And that way you guys can check it out too. Do you have socials for people to follow you at?
Yeah, I have a Substack, which is if you look up Unbreakable Argonauts, you'll find it. You can also find me on Twitter at ASH Writing 97.
Awesome. What about Twitter, Instagram, anything like that?
On other platforms, if you just type in Unbreakable Argonauts, you should find it.
Okay.
So we're up on Instagram, we're up on DeviantArt, Pinterest, and Reddit. Actually, we have a subreddit.
Oh, you have a subreddit for the book?
Yeah, it's called Argoverse Comics.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
I'll include a Twitter link now. There you go. Oh, now I recognize it was Liam Sharp who retweeted you. I was looking at it and I'm like, I've seen this before. I have no idea who retweeted it.
Oh yeah, you might have. I think Liam
freaking Sharp did it?
Yeah, I follow Liam Sharp, so as soon as I went to Ashley's page, it says Doc Sharpie, and I'm like, oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he retweets your stuff all the time.
Yeah, and Brian Edward Hill, I think, gave me a retweet as well. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, Brian's wonderful. I've had him on the channel twice now, and he's so easy to talk to. He's so cool. Like, such a great guy.
He is, yeah.
He
great
really is.
As well.
Yes, so talented.
For sure, yeah.
There we go. There is his Twitter link. And again, you guys, check it out. At least follow it. Give it a chance. Check out all the stuff in the campaign and in the description. Not my description, the description of the book. And honestly, I know I was being a bit jokey, but if you're interested in an interview, email me. I'll send him your email and get the name out there. A lot of this is a lot of hard work. Like, just getting your name and face out there is a lot of hard work. So I always want to try to help help creators when I can.
Thank you.
No problem whatsoever. And thank you, Bianca. Again, if you guys missed the link, it'll be on my community post and I will be back. We'll go over all the fun stuff. I just wanted to make sure I gave Ashley my undivided attention. Is there anything else before we go, Ashley, that you wanted to mention that I may have forgot?
No, I think we covered everything.
Awesome. And it will be, like I said, it'll be on my community post and I'll be back. Give me 15 minutes. But thank you, Bianca.
You're welcome. I will also add this to my community post. I'll be sure to promote this on Twitter. See if I can tag Liam Sharp and Brian Hill. Be like, these are the ones who recommend him. It's got to be good.
That's right. That is right. It's got to be. I love them too. They're amazing. Okay, guys. I will see you back in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate your time.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I can look at